and start this puppy. Alright, so we find ourselves in a new town, a new setting, in the town of Sandpoint on the lost coast of Varisia. God, you can't see me for anything because of the fucking light. Is that better? Like, I accept this. Yeah. Um, Sandpoint. On a prestigious day, on the 22nd of Rova, fall is in the air. The Swallowtail Festival, a festival meant to commemorate and worship the goddess Desna, has begun. In addition to the consecration of the new cathedral, Sandpoint Cathedral, and this has led to this being a big thing for everybody. Folks from all over the hinterlands and even beyond in Greater Varisia has come to this celebration. But then we draw into our three characters here. We had Ongo, an aspiring adventurer who has been working at the Rusty Dragon and doing odd jobs for the town-wide militia, was called to service to help patrol the town. We had Jeremy Devrin, scion of House Devrin and nephew, quote unquote, of the the Mayor Kendra Devrin, getting ready to showcase his latest prototype for his mech suit, but was also roped into assisting in the actual consecrating ceremony later that evening. And then finally, we had Cortho Phil, the resident slime sentient creature taken in by the sage known as Broddard Quink. Still hate that name. Broddard Quink, who was talked into how the festival should go and to rely upon the town guard, etc., etc. The celebrations were grand. Some of you participated in games. The expose went without a hitch, and there was some interest, mainly in the form of a young woman known as Venarius of the city of Kermaga, which is in northeastern Varisia. Clortho got a drawing of himself as a cow, or at least investing a cow. It's up to interpretation, and also was able to enjoy some libations. In the evening, as calm and quiet was brought to begin the consecration, a goblin raid began. Not exactly, not even a raid. It's an ambush because the goblins were already inside the town, which has never happened before in anyone's memory in the history of Sandpoint. Luckily enough, despite the panic, clear heads in the form of the mayor and Father Xantis were able to direct people toward the cathedral, and the efforts of you three, combat-wise, were enough to keep the casualties to 0, which is fantastic. Beyond the dog that got butchered in the game, but that's rest in peace, dog. After that, you guys are beginning to make your way back into the cathedral. Any questions, comments, concerns, queries, aspirations, flaws, hubba-dubbas?
Habba
Hubba-dubbas. Alright, so let's... That's not what... That, as much as I actually like that, we'll do... we'll just do the Goblin War song. Very quiet. We'll just do that, just so it's so creepy. Because despite all of the goblins in the vicinity either having fled or been murdered in the distance, all around you, almost coming from every corner of the town, you guys hear this song reverberating. In addition to the cries and of people in fear and terror. I'm going to assume that everyone here is going to follow the flood of people into the cathedral. Is that correct?
Yep. I think so.
Okay, I did not do that as on replay. Okay, Jeremy Ongo. That fair to assume?
Correct.
Okay, all right. So, as you guys are making your way back, Ongo, I think it's fair to say that you would probably take the rear, like to be one of the last people to get in, and you link up with the other militiaman who managed to survive the fight. He gives you a smile, and this is your pew, pew, and that's a gunshot. As 2 arrows take him in the throat, and he drops. But in that moment, the other 2 town watchmen grab you and pull you inside, as the acolytes behind push the doors shut with a loud boom. and you guys find yourselves inside of the cathedral. In the front section for you guys ended basically is flanked on either there's a small little hallway flanked either side by shrines. To the left is one depicting like a bow, which is meant to revere Raston. The one to the right shows a key meant to revere the god Abradar. People are still getting shuttled further and further in at this point. With Mayor Devon still calling up, please remain calm. Everyone move further into the cathedral, please. And people can move through. What do you three do? Actually, just better way to put it. Clortho, Phil, you're still being carried by Timothy Silverhand, the half elf. It was cupping you between his hands. Jeremiah, I imagine you're kind of lurking in the back, while Ongo, you are with your, I guess you would say colleagues, but at this point you do see that they rush off in different direction because there are three other doors in the cathedral, so it seems they're rushing off to possibly seal those entrances.
Oh yeah, Ongo is kind of yelling at the guys blocking or barricading the door. He's like, "Let me back out there. I can fight them. They're just beasts. Come on."
I don't think see, I don't think I described these ones. Well, just for the easiest, one of them, Leland, the only door from the town, which is not a chance. Let's get it locked up. We have people in here, and we need to protect them because there's literally 5 of us. After rest in peace, poor Phil out there. But there's 5 of us, and there's a boatload of people in here. So let's lock this place down.
How do I get out?
We'll deal with that after the attack.
No, like if I wanted to get out right now.
They've only boarded the front entrance, so you could just rush out one of the other 3 entrances.
I'll see you guys later.
Now hold on. All right. Anyway, no, they're just shouting at you. They're not trying to stop you, but they're just shouting at you. Okay, but Ongo's leaving.
We'll just...
I should accompany him. I am a hero.
Timothy holds you up to his face. All right. Well, I saw what you did. Remarkable. But me, I am a dancer, not a fighter. And so he walks over to you, Ongo, and says, "Hello, hi. I don't think we've met. Timothy Silverhand."
Have you ever been to the bar?
The Rusty Dragon. I mean, I think we've not been properly acquainted. Doesn't matter. This one shows you Clortho wants to join you.
Almost certain doom in the face of evil and monsters.
I have no conception of doom. However, I have been told that I am an incredibly hardy life form and difficult to kill.
Another hero.
Yes, I am a hero. Are you a hero?
I'm a killer of darkness. It is just to drive it home. This guy is like, I think we wrote down that his age was 25. I think I'd put him closer to like 17.
That's fair. Yeah, I think 17 makes more sense. 17.
I did not realize the darkness needed to be vanquished, but I will assist you if it means protecting Standpoint.
It's Sandpoint
Onwards.
here, as Timothy puts you on his shoulder. And you guys, as this conversation finishes, you find Mayor Devon standing behind you two. Who says, "Well, you know, that might not be a terrible idea," she says. Considering that there's a lot of craziness going out there. It's like, "Clortho, I believe we met once. Mayor Devon." She shakes one of your pseudopod arms.
Ooze around her fingers.
Right, yes. Ongo's actually on the town's guard. Alright. Go out there. Try to bring as many people as you can back to the cathedral. It is a staging ground. We'll keep the front doors mostly open, she says, and you see that the acolytes that have been nailing it shut look at each other and begin prying the boards free. But at this point, yes, your job, save lives. Sound good?
Yes.
Killing things.
Yes, that's fine. Jeremiah.
I will go with them.
Wonderful.
I already know what you want to say.
I thought I'd have to rank you into this. Perfect. All right. Watch each other's backs. Please don't take unnecessary risks. Try to bring as many people back as you can, she says.
Understood.
All right.
Heroes.
Yes. Hero, she says, if that's the term you want to use. All right. Is anyone actually injured, by the way?
I don't think I am.
I think I was mildly injured, but then the priest healed everyone up, right? In an AoE heal in the last encounter.
That is... Yeah, that's fair to say. Okay, so... Yeah, you guys are looking pretty good. Alright, that's over. How long does the marriage is also gone? All your spells are gone. Alright, with that, you three step out of the main doors of the cathedral, and the door closes, and once again you're looking at what was the festival grounds, which are now in complete disarray. Knocked over stalls, bits of food rolling around, spills, and the still bodies of the goblins that you had just recently slain. Let's have everyone make a perception check. Let's go with that.
Oof.
Yeah, and don't forget to say numbers because I'm actually not looking at Foundry.
It's a 10 for me.
18.
18.
11.
11. Okay. All right. You can hear the song radiating from everywhere, but for you, Jeremy, there is a you can differentiate a little more. I'm gonna bring you guys to the map of Sandpoint. At least from where you guys are, there are sounds of battle happening at the North Gate. That seems to be the largest congregation of both what looks to be townsfolk and townsguard, militia, fighting goblins. But looking a little more southwards, because you guys are in Uptown, which is on a bit of a rise. You can see a lot of the town that is south of you. You see fires springing up, people running around, some shadows, and quite a bit of chaos. Nothing nearby though.
So, I don't know about you guys. I don't have experience fighting off hordes of I can tell you how to fight a bear or an elk. So if it's the same thing, we have to raise our arms and make a lot of noise to make ourselves look and sound big so they get scared, and then use that moment of fear to rush them with whatever you got in your hands. It works 60% of the time.
I have never fought a goblin or a bear.
But a deer?
I will use my mind as a weapon.
You punch with your head? The headbutt. Headbutt. That's an idea.
Yes, it is similar to a headbutt. Carry me towards the gate. We will attack the goblins.
And how do you fight? You're like the son of the mayor, so you're like a rich kid. Do you send butlers after them?
I actually do know how to fight, and I have my clockwork suit that does most of my fighting for me.
So it's kind of like a butler.
Kind of like a butler, yes, you could say that. My robot butler. I named my armor Jeeves, you know.
Okay, so with the power of butlers and headbutts, we'll probably be fine. And
we're no stranger to goblin attacks around here, although this is a little more than the last time I saw one. But they're not too bad if you don't get ganged up on by a bunch of them at the same time. So we can handle this.
So
that's
the strategy is
pick them off.
Okay, punch hard, got it. And Ango will run towards the chanting they're not very good at hiding.
Do you run to the nearest chanting, or do you just because they're chanting around?
Direction of the nearest chanting.
All right, direction of the nearest chanting.
And am I holding Clortho, or is Clortho following?
Clortho's on his
I'd
shoulder.
like to be riding on your shoulder if that's okay.
Yeah, he was deposited on your shoulder. But yeah, okay. Let's go with this. As you guys are looking towards the gate, because that is the closest one. You do see that they're holding the line. The line that's there. Like, no, the fighters there are strong. There's someone there leading them. You don't know who it is, but they are holding whatever's line there. Looking south, however, because let's go with Ongo as a member of the town watch. You know that there's only 6 of you. And even if they were a little muster of militia, that's at most maybe like 20, 30 people. So looking south, that is an entire town that's probably doesn't have anyone that can fight for them. So nearest fight is the gates, but there's a lot of town to the south. That's a bit undefended.
Okay, Ango will sigh and then remember this and turn around and you just yell, "South!"
Okay.
Let us attempt to save as many as we can.
All right.
Through the power of killing.
All right. What is the formation we're doing for this, folks?
I am on his shoulders.
No matter what decision I make, I feel like Ongo will be charging straight down the middle.
So it really depends.
You're in front of accept it. I just kind of accept it, and I just try to keep up, as I imagine he just on his personality, just sprinting, and I'm wearing fucking heavy armor.
Understood. Right. Gotcha. Okay. As I double check my map. Alright, you guys make your way down south towards High Street, and immediately Ongo, you come to a halt as looking around the corner of this building, you do see that there are 4 goblins that are fighting over what you think to be is like a roast chicken. They're basically holding on to it, like trying to yank in different directions, trying to pull it away from each other. They are about 150-ish feet, and you do see that they're at the lip of this building right here, which is actually the Sandpoint Town Hall. The windows are kind of open. You hear the sounds of like breaking glass and splintering wood inside, as if someone's ransacking the place. It does not seem that the goblins on top have noticed you guys yet.
They're on the roof?
They're on the roof, yes. And
Okay.
How far away are we?
You guys are about 150-ish feet.
Does it look like if I were to be on the roof next to the building, I could jump across
Nearest building, no.
any of the roofs?
None
of those roofs.
No, you would have to scale the building manually.
Does it look scalable?
Oh, it does, yeah, absolutely. If these goblins got on top of the roof, it's certainly scalable.
Okay, without missing a beat, non-stop running, he's just gonna, like a madman, he's just gonna hit the building, like the side of it, and start scrambling up instead of going inside.
Okay, gotcha. Are you following him in this mad charge, Jeremy?
Jeremy will sigh first and then start running with him.
All right, I'm gonna need you gentlemen to make. We'll call this athletics check, since this is basically pure running to see if you guys can make it to the building and see how fast you guys can make it there. Jesus. Okay.
Jared, am I included in that?
No, because you are being carried. If you
Sweet.
want, you can make a. You can assist. You can either make a.
I don't want to assist.
Okay.
Nope.
Gotcha.
No, I'm okay.
Sounds good. I'm gonna go
Carry me.
with goblins to see if they are able to react in time. That is a big ol' no. All right, you guys like rush to the base of the building and begin to climb. The Sandpoint Town Hall is only about 25 feet tall, so Ongo, you got about halfway there before Jeremy basically just squats down and does a massive leap upwards and is able to catch up to you before making way to the top.
Oh,
Was that a question? Or was that oh
No, he's gonna yell "ho," and he's gonna like once again, it's a strategy out the window. He's gonna yell, "You got another one of those?" Okay, I guess he doesn't do that. Just looking at Jared's eyes, I'm like, okay.
Oh, were you asking me?
I mean, every action has to get filtered through you.
Another one? What do you mean by another one of those?
He's gonna see this suit-wielding dude leap higher than he could climb, the speed of his climbing. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?"
It's proprietary.
Yeah, because I thought you were asking more of Jeremy.
Yeah, I thought you were asking Jared. Yeah.
So it was a question to Jeremy, but I was judging the DM's facial expression of like, you just threw away your surprise. And I was like, "Okay, hold on."
No, it's fine at this point. So it's not bad at all, as the goblins are a little panicked as they see you. One of them drops the chicken and tries to draw a short sword. The other two run for their bows, which are not nearby. While the other one is gonna go and throw the chicken at you guys. That is a 2. You watch it flies, misses you completely, and just tumbles off the rooftop.
Wait.
What's up?
It's live chicken?
No, it's a roasted chicken.
Okay. Can I catch it?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely, you can catch it. And that brings us to you two. What do you three? What do you guys want to do? Or who wants to act? Clortho, since you haven't acted, you're pretty fresh right at this point. You got 2 enemies running for their weapons, which are on the other. Their bows are on the other side. One's drawing a short sword. The other one is now no weapon and has not drawn his short sword yet.
How far apart are they from each other?
They're in pairs. So if you want to do an AoE effect, you can get the closest 2, or you can get the far back 2.
I was gonna say, this spell is a 15-foot cone.
Okay, so you would be able to get the front 2, but not the back 2, if that's the case then.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and spray the front 2 with a color spray, and I will say, "Behold the glory of Clortho!"
Clortho is a will saving throw, correct?
It is indeed.
Okay, that is double failures with a 10 and an 8. What does it do?
Those are critical failures, because my spell save is a 20. So I guess one is a failure, one is a critical failure?
That is correct.
Cool. So, creature is stunned for 1 round and blinded for 1 minute.
Oh no, they're both critically stunned. It's both critically failures. Okay. Alright, so the 2 fronts are now stunned and blinded. Jesus. Where's the stun?
So I'd like to imagine that instead of colorful lights, I actually just kind of project some of my ooze into their eyes. It makes kind of like a whoopee cushion sound as I kind of just flatulate on them. They are blinded. Now you can be a hero. Hit them.
Gotcha. Alright, bringing us to whoever wants to go first. Ongo or Devrin.
I would say Ongo never stops running.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright, you rushing forward. Both your enemies are basically like rubbing at their eyes and like kind of mumbling to themselves as they are now stunned, senseless.
So, let's set the scene. We ran towards the south. Ongo never stopped running. He hit the side of the building, climbed up nonstop, got to the top, caught a chicken leg, and now he's going to rush the closest goblin to him, and he's going to attempt to hit it with a chicken leg.
Oh no, this is a full chicken. This is a full like rotisserie Costco chicken.
Alright, then it gets a rotisserie chicken to the face.
Alright, gotcha. Okay, so you're making for improvised
Chicken
weapons.
check.
What's up?
Chicken check.
Yeah, you would basically just
roll
a
for
martial.
chicken.
So, hold on, you roll a martial weapon attack.
Yes.
So you can.
What is that?
You can basically just go ahead and roll one of your normal weapon attacks.
Not the silver sword.
No, you could. You just for the attack roll, yes, but for the damage, that's something different.
But the silver sword is a +1, so not that.
I mean, that's fine. Just go and subtract 1 from that. It's fine.
Oh, I can do unarmed, which is +12.
24. Jesus, that definitely hits. Go and roll for damage, which we're gonna say for a small chicken. We'll say it's a 1. We'll say it's 2d4. plus your strength. So that's going to be 2d4 plus 4.
Even as the bones shatter across its face, I wish we
You
did. It didn't go
smash it across its face. You watch as the face is pummeled, and just you hear the cracking of bones. The head spins around as the neck breaks, and the goblin teeters and spins around before plopping to the ground dead.
Other hand, Ango's gonna catch the head that has now disconnected from the goblin.
Oh god. Okay. Absolutely. You now have a goblin head in your hands.
And Farrell scream. All right, that's it.
All right. Bring us Jeremy, you watch as this young man. How old is Jeremy, by the way? Let me get scouts that.
Fresh out of college, fresh out of Tinker College.
22.
So, yeah.
No, we could say 20 actually, because they probably will start younger. 20.
Okay.
20. You watch as this young man, you're pretty sure he's younger than you, run forward screaming, caught a chicken, bashed a goblin in the head with it, and now is holding the head above his own head, screaming. There's one enemy that's within easy distance that is stunned and rubbing at its eyes, and there are two more running in the back towards their bows. They'll be able to get to them on their turns and be able to fire off a single shot each.
I'm going to electric arc these guys then. Let's see.
All right.
Am I close enough? I am close enough, 100%. The people running toward the goblins in the back.
Running towards the bows. Gotcha. What am I rolling?
Yep. I am. Need to click on it. Electric arc. It is 2d4 plus 3 electricity.
Well, no. What am I rolling? Because I have to roll. The enemies have to roll saving throw, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Save DC 19 basic reflex.
Basic reflex, perfect. Okay, that's a lot better. Wow. Okay, that's a 25 and a 23. So they do save, but they do take half damage. So the blinding arcs out, like sparking one and sparking the other, singeing their hair as they take only 3 points of damage each. Okay, so you still have one action to do something if you like.
One action. How close am I to this other goblin?
That one, you would still have to move. Actually, no, they're the edge. Yeah, you could smack them.
Okay, I'll smack him.
All right, go ahead and roll. Meter beat 16.
Okay.
26. That's a critical hit, so that's gonna be critical damage.
Critical damage.
All right, that's 10 as you plunge the sword into the chest. Would Jeremy go for gore or not gore?
Right through the head, right
through the head, into the mouth. The goblin's like, ah! As it's choking around the blade before you yank it outwards, letting it drop to the ground dead. That's gonna bring us to our goblins at the back who grab their short bows, spin around, and fire off a single shot each. One for. Actually, both of them are going. Actually, no, one for each. One goes for Jammer. This one's Jammer. That is going to be a 21, which actually just hits your armor class. So, Jammer is going to take 2 points of piercing damage as the arrow nicks like a small unarmored portion in your chest plate. You feel the sting, but not really hurts that much. And the second shot goes for Ongo, which is a 15. That arrow ricochets off of your plate mail, and that is their turns. Bring us back to you guys, and we'll do Clortho. You successfully stunned 2 guys who were then decapitated / destroyed. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna start by which of the goblins fired at Ongo?
That would be the one on the bottom. That ping.
Alright, I'm gonna hit him with a bon mot. I'm gonna talk him to death.
Okay.
All right. That was a pitiful shot.
All right.
Does he have to be able to understand me?
It does, but they do understand you. Actually, yes.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Yes. So
that was a pathetic shot. I would be embarrassed if I had taken that shot.
Absolutely, yeah. Meter beat at 13, essentially.
Okay. Feel pretty good about that.
20, absolutely. Gotcha. All right, and what happens on success?
On a success, the penalty is a -2 status to perception and will saves for 1 minute.
All right, I can go and play it. Perfect, gotcha. You do, and you see the words bite into into the goblin's ego, and his hands begin to like shake even more, as you are cursing it out. Okay, that was what I think only one
That was
action.
one action.
All right, you got 2 actions left.
Color spray does not need. Yeah, color spray is instantaneous, so I don't have to sustain it. I'm gonna hit that same goblin warrior with a side burst.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So it's a DC 20 reflex save.
Understood. He gets a +7. That is going to be a 19, which is not good enough, so he's going to take the full damage.
Cool. So that is going to be 2d4.
4 points of bludgeoning damage as your jelly almost like expands to a bubble in your head and pops and releasing like a little like swirl of energy which slams into the goblin, who begins to shake and just screech before they fall to the ground, convulsing before expiring on the ground next to their horrified companion.
Holy shit! I'm gonna turn my brain beam onto the second guy then. And rattle off. Oh, I can only do it once per round. Just kidding. I will go ahead and cast a shield on myself.
Alright, sounds good. With that, your essence kind of bubbles outwards, little strips kind of rolling off your body to form a very thin dome that surrounds you. Okay, so that should increase your armor class by 2? It should have applied. Yeah, it should be there. Oh, wait. Okay, spell effect. Shield. There it is. 22. Perfect. All right, and that's gonna bring us to. We'll mix things up. We'll do Jeremy. Jeremy, 1 goblin left. This one. Let's see. This one is definitely going to run when it can do so. But what would you like to do in the meantime, Jeremy?
I'm gonna run up and smack it.
All right, sounds good. Go
ahead. Because I'm not letting these goblins be free after attacking my town here. So.
No, completely understand.
Sword.
25. That definitely is going to hit. Go and roll for damage, please.
Okay.
That's me 5 points. With that, you bull rush it, shoving it backwards before, and when it hits the ground, you raise your sword and plunge into the stomach for twisting and yanking outwards, and the goblin is dead. All right. From where your perch is, Jeremy, as you kind of like scan the bodies, beyond that, because right across from the Sandpoint town hall is the garrison, but beyond that, you look towards the Old Light, which is the ruined structure that dominates the northwestern portion of the townscape. You see that there is there around Quink's house. You see there's a little bit of a ruckus, as there are a couple of the goblins over there, and someone is hanging from a tree. Not like hanging, not being hung, but someone's wrapped around their, like, tied them up and is hanging them from a tree. So they're not dying. If that makes sense.
Maybe I say, hey guys, there's someone on a tree over there. Let's go investigate this.
Before we leave Before we leave the roof, Ango's gonna look around at the corpses mutilated by all of us around, and he's gonna have like a very empty look in his eyes as he stares across, and he's gonna be like, heroism. And then he's gonna climb down and rush to the tree. Who needs saving?
All right. Does Jeremy make a different approach, or just still following?
I'm still following.
All right. Okay. So we'll get you guys over here. We'll get you over there. Oh, that's the goblin. I need Jeremy. There is he. Boop. Okay. Oh, not the goblin, not the corpse. All right. As you guys make your way there, Clortho, and Alga, you guys see that someone is hanging from the tree, and it is in fact Broderick Quink. He has been tied up, bruised, and beaten as he's been now hanging from his tree. The rope is tied around his torso and hanging from there, so he's not dying, but he's alive. As the goblins, let me get the guys out first. You see, as I double check my, Okay, 3, 4, gop. Thank you all for your patience.
No, thank you.
Oh, thank you. All right, you guys see that there are a total of Now that's okay. This is what I get for always not paying attention to what my shit is. There it is. Okay. There are 3 smaller goblins who have torches, and they're basically holding them right beneath Broader, who's kicking and trying to keep himself from getting burned alive. There is what I think Jeremy, as the only person here with an intelligence modifier that's positive, sees is a hobgoblin. They stand about the same height as they stand about 5'8", grayish skin, and they're actually wearing much more useful armor. It's not bobs and bits. It's not leathers that have been furs have been scrapped. This is like a full suit of like pretty shitty looking plate armor, but it's been patched in certain places. And then I also need to roll for another thing as well. Okay. And we'll do that, and we'll do this. And you guys immediately do see that the goblins turn to look at you all as you're running running up the street towards them. The hobgoblin barks something in their tongue, and the goblins immediately cease using their torches to harass Broadert, and are going to turn to face you guys.
Can we quickly re-describe the scene of these people are turning around and they're witnessing at the front, he's screaming at the top of his lungs, Quink, is some dude. This is at night, so let's just add the effect of like the warm breath creating some steam, while simultaneously waving around a goblin head in his hand. Clearly feral human being.
Gotcha. Would you like to inspire some intimidation, some terror?
Sure, but I don't have that skill, so it's gonna be pretty bad.
Okay, I'll give you a +3 to this, and you're gonna be basically going against we'll say the hobgoblins. The hobgoblin is trying to keep them together.
21.
21. Jesus. Okay. I know I was joking, but Jesus. 2 of the goblins look at each other, see the head, and they bolt away, peeling down here and running between these 2 buildings. You can still hear them running, so they're still technically within combat, but that leaves you with just 2 enemies at this point in time. So, gentlemen, if you wouldn't mind, we're actually gonna roll for initiative this though, because this one does a little matter for actual combat.
In his own head, Ongo's gonna think they're gonna write legends about me, but he doesn't know, likely in the negative connotation.
I think that's fair. Okay, alright. Why is it doing up? That's so dumb. Jesus. For the categories. Alright, we're gonna move this down. Okay. Jeremy rolled. Okay. Actually, these guys aren't in combat. We're just gonna remove those guys, make my life easy. We're gonna go ahead and begin the encounter, starting with Broadert, who's tied up and just shouting, "Be careful! There's a 3rd one! An archer! There's somewhere around here!" And that's his turn.
So he's not like actively choking to death.
No, sorry, I know my description is really bad, but basically the rope is tied around his torso, and they're hanging him from there.
Okay.
From there. He's got singed feet. Actually, are any of you guys trained or proficient in medicine?
No.
God, no.
Ah, Jimmy, we needed you. Where were you? We need you. Alright, so we'll just say that Ongo and Clortho, even though you guys do see that he's not in immediate danger, Mr. Broadert is bleeding heavily from his leg. Like, blood is dripping down and dripping into the ground from where he is. He's been injured around his legs. But that brings us to the Hobgoblin Pack Leader, who is going to go ahead and... weirdly enough, almost like Dorothy tapping her shoes, taps his boots. You watch as they explode as he charges forward, almost like rocket boots, and is going to go ahead and meet Ongo's charge with a slash of his own. That is going to be it. Jesus, a 30. Okay, fuck me. Ongo, you take 10 points of slash damage as the steel cuts into your shoulder and breaks through the shoulder plate there and cutting in deeper. And then he's going to spend his 10 points of slash damage. Yes. And then he's going to spend his last action to raise his shield in defense, waiting for you. Okay, bring us to Clortho. Clortho, there is an enemy right up in Ongo's face, growling, and this one looks actually intelligent. Behind, there's the Goblin Warrior preparing to charge after, and based off Broderick's advice, there is a third enemy abound. What would you like to do?
Do I see that third enemy?
You would have to spend an action to make a perception check if you would like to do that.
Yeah, I'll spend an action to perceive that archer.
Understood. Go ahead.
27.
You see them. You see that of the scan of the building, starting with the ones closest, and then you look at the house across from Quink's house. Over here, lying prone on the rooftop, you see is another hobgoblin, gray in skin, but in their hands. I know the image says it has a bow, but they have a crossbow pointed at you guys, and his eyes widen as he notices that you notice him.
Okay. He's how far away is he?
For the purposes of this combat, he is. God. Let's make this a little smaller, so we'll do that. It would take 3 full move actions to get to him. Let's go with that. But then if we say 3, you have to spend a turn and a half because it would take 1 turn to get to the base of the building, and then possibly another couple actions to climb the building.
Yeah, I'm asking for spell range here. Just as the crow flies, how many feet?
You would have to get at least within 1. You have to spend at least 1 action to get close to him. Actually, do you have the change movement speed, or we're still doing the 15?
I have not changed my movement speed. I'm stuck with 15, which is fine.
All right. It would have to be all 3 of your move actions to get within spell range.
Yeah, cool. All right, that's fine. I will go ahead and. Does he have any sharp bolts in a pile next to him?
Not on a pile next to him. I think it's fair to assume that there's probably some crossbow bolts at his waist on a belt.
Question.
Okay.
Clortho's small, right?
Clortho is tiny.
Yes, tiny.
Oh. If Clortho wanted, could I spend an action, pre-turn to chuck him where he needs to go?
What we can do is that we can have Clortho delay, go into Ongo's turn, then Ongo, you could do your turn and spend that action to throw Clortho if you'd like to do so.
That's just an open idea.
I can take a turn without doing that. You should do, whatever your actions are best for you. I will go ahead and hit this ugly dude in front of us with a side burst.
Oh, right.
The main goblin.
Sounds.
So that's a reflex save from him.
Reflex save? No, that's okay. So shield does not come into play for this. Smart. Oh, right. He rolled a. Wow. Fuck. 12.
So that's a failure.
Sorry. 19's a failure. Anyway, so yeah, it definitely fails. 7 as you.
Cool.
As your forehead bursts and another blast slams into this hobgoblin, making him stagger. His eyes widen. He's very confused by what happened.
Right, and then I will go ahead and shout at him, and I'll say, I'm in your head. You don't know what's happening, because you've never seen anything like me. I'm your worst nightmare. I'm going for a bon mot here.
All right, go ahead and make that diplomacy check. You're making meet or be a DC 18. Natural 20. The target is distracted by this. I think it's a mixture of not that he's scared of you, but he's very confused by what you are, and he's very much captivated by that in this moment, to the point where you see the shield, it droops a little bit, his gaze is firmly upon you and not upon the human that he's been engaging with. Alright, so it's a -3
cool.
to perception, will saves for 1 minute. Jesus.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. That was my turn.
All right, that's going to bring us to Ongo. It is your turn. You see that your enemy in front of you, its eyes has shifted to focus solely on Clortho. What would you like to do?
So we're gonna do that calculations meme. He just like time freezes and he's in his own head and he's just like, okay, thinking about the previous rumors of attacks I've heard in this city and combat tactics against bears and deers in the forest. And with basically meta, I'm just trying to bring out like, do I know any strategies against goblins?
Oh, that's the next question. Let me grab my book about that.
He's got a book.
Go ahead and make a nature check. I'm going to give you a +3 since you are a member of the town's guard, and they would have given you some training on that.
Could it be survival?
Unfortunately, it has to be knowledge nature.
17.
17. There it is. Okay, I forgot to put it. Alright, so goblins are... That's the wrong section. Okay. Alright, goblins hate horses. They love riding animals, but they hate horses. And they are very scared of them. They will do their best to not get near them. They hate dogs and will automatically always go for dogs first if they see one. This is not completely applicable to this. They love to sing, you know that. They are voracious and love food and have to eat constantly for some reason. They like fire. They get stuck easily because they have very white heads. And they believe that writing steals your soul.
Okay. Ongo goes through all this in that split second with the calculations going around, and then his solution, it's like, got it, Watson, is he starts to scream like a horse.
Interesting. Okay. I will allow you to make a survival check on this, since I think that is more applicable here. Fucking 22. Jesus. Alright, you begin to bray and like neigh like a horse. The hobgoblin leader is very much taken aback by this. The goblin over behind him like kind of looks around, almost like looking for a horse as well, and is currently distracted, and the archer is as well. So for the purposes of this, we're gonna say they all lose one action because they're distracted by looking for a horse, except for the one in front of you, which is very just much scared of the noise you made, and we'll give them fear instead.
Alright.
Actually,
One more action.
Frightened makes sense. Yeah, they're all frightened one now. Yes, and you have one more action.
And Ongo's brain is going to get stuck in the horse thing, so instead of doing something like using the goblin head as a weapon, he's going to just physically body slam the goblin, the hobgoblin.
Understood. Go ahead and make an armed strike, please. That's a 21. A 21 is going to just hit. Yes. So go ahead and roll damage. Alright, 5 points of damage as you did like shoulder check using the shoulder that was injured and knocking the hobgoblin in the face, managing to get over the shield. A bit of blood begins to spurt down his nose and he shakes his head as he growls at you. And says in common, "I will kill you and take the strange bubble as a pet."
The only response is continued neighing.
Jesus. Bringing us to the archer up top, who is going to look around for a horse, realizes that it was simply Ongo, and is going to go ahead and... Let's see, do we do perfect aim? For me... Okay, does not get in for that. Alright, they're going to go ahead and fire off a crossbow shot at you. That is going to be a 25, which is definitely going to hit. They deal to you 5 points of damage as the crossbow bolt whizzes forward and slams into the side of your thigh with a screech of metal before embedding into the ground. And they're going to spend their last action to actually disappear over the lip of the roof, because the roof is peaked like this. So they disappear out of sight. so you guys cannot see them. And that's going to bring us to Jeremir. Jeremir, you see your one of your companions was neighing like a horse, headbutted the other one like a horse. The goblins are distracted though, and you do notice that the archer that was up top has now dipped over the rooftop and is out of sight. What would you like to do?
I was like, how do I get rid of this?
Is there a question about the UI by any chance?
No, it's not the UI. I'm trying to. I am going to. I'm going to, facing the direction the goblin archer is looking, I'm going to use this deployable cover I have.
Oh.
To deploy cover so everyone can take cover behind this thing the next time we get shot at by this goblin archer. So.
Do you have deployable
what do
cover?
I need to... Apparently. Or I have a known
That's
formula.
one of the maybe. Do you want to say you've made it? Because this is the early session. So if you want to say you had time to make cover, you can definitely make cover.
Yeah. Let's say I have.
Sure. So we'll just do tile free.
Because I think that's kind of a fun thing.
Absolutely, gotcha. So deploy cover. It is one action to take it out, and then a second one to deploy it.
Yeah. I do that. So I'm going to use 2 actions there to take it out and then deploy. So we have our cover there, and then I'm going to looking at how Ongo's really in this guy's face, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to electric arc onto the hobgoblin.
All right, gotcha. Okay, and I believe the hobgoblin and the regular goblin are within range, so you can get both of them. But I'm rolling a reflex saving though, correct?
Right, 19.
Okay. Almost dropped my die. Okay, the hobgoblin rolled a 20. So he's able to save, so he takes half damage. And the goblin rolled fail. So the hobgoblin darts backwards, trying to use the shield almost like as a what's it, like a lightning rod, but he does still take damage. When it bounces off the shield, it hits the goblin behind, making them sizzle from head to toe, and they are on the verge of death. Actually, how many actions is electric arc?
I don't really know.
Okay. Yeah. So when you look at the action, let's see. Are you doing this from the
it's cast time 2. It's cast 2, so I can't do it. Never mind.
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah,
but you do have an action you want to do something. You could take cover behind the actual cover, which would give you full cover in that case. Sorry, greater cover. Okay, so with greater cover, as I double check the bonuses for greater cover, you get a +4 to your armor class and your reflex saving throw. So you now have an armor class of 25. Okay, that's gonna bring us to our lad in the back, our last little goblin, who's going to go ahead and think better of actually using a sword, and is going to swap weapons for his bow and take a shot at Clortho, because he saw you use magic.
Bring it.
That is a 11? No, that's a 13. Does not hit.
13 does not hit.
Yeah, I imagine that you almost just make a hole in your stomach as the arrow whizzes through you, and just ricochets and then just clatters against and breaks against the stone wall over here. One to swift. Watch. Second to fire, and then it's going to spend its last action to double backwards towards this house, and he gets to the edge, but is still within view. Bring us back to the top of the initial war with Broadert. He says, "I can still see the hobgoblins. Looks like they're getting ready to drop down from the house." And that is his turn. Bring us to the pack leader, who sees things are not going so well. You watch he bark something out very harsh, and Goblin almost like to maybe intimidate the other one. and the goblin steals its spine and stops fleeing before he spends his second action to go ahead and attack Clortho as well. Jesus, of course. That's a 14. Even with that, Clortho, you duck down, pressing yourself against Ongo's shoulder, and he's going to follow up with a step. He's going to step 5 feet back outside of your attack range and outside of your effective melee range, unless you want to lunge. And that is going to be his turn. Sean, does the Bon Mot end this turn, or does it continue?
Let me double check that. For 1 minute.
Oh, that's right, 'cause
Results last for 1 minute.
Understood, Josh. All right, that is the Hobgoblin's turn. Bring us to Clortho. Clortho, you've been aimed at a couple times. You're fine still. But it's getting a little close this time. What would you like to do?
I really want to find a way to get Broader down from that rope, but he is way outside of my range, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, if you want to, you can get to within range if you move 3 times, or if you get Ongo to move forward at least once past the Hobgoblin, you'll be within range of most of your spells.
Mm-hmm. Question here on the reading of telekinetic projectile. My understanding here is that it's only the object that has to be within 30 feet, but it does say the target. Presumably I wouldn't be able to target someone that's outside of the cantrip's range, right?
You would not be able to. That is... Well, actually, that's not true. You can, but let me double check the range penalties for this. I think it's like a -2 for every extra, feet. Attack, range attack beyond range. You take a -2 penalty for each additional increment beyond the first. Okay, so you can effectively attack up to 60 feet, but you would take a -2 penalty.
Okay. And can I cast 2 cantrips on the same turn?
If you have the action economy for it, yeah.
I do. I'm going to go ahead and put up a distortion lens in front of me, which is going to make that into then a -1 penalty by making my spell effectively 10 feet closer to Broadert.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Then I'd like to try and find something sharp, maybe a shard of glass, to hurl at the rope above Broadert's head.
Yeah, easy enough. Yeah, as you kind of see there's some glass broken from windows. You kind of draw upon that and shoot it forward.
Great. That is what I'd like to do.
Okay, let me double check a couple things. Rope. Okay, so it's literally an armor class 10, but you have to deal at least 8 damage to cut the rope.
Oh, well, it's going to be a 1d6 plus my spell casting ability, so it's not going to be great.
It's possible. Well, no, it should be more because it's heightened. Yeah, it's because you can cast 2 level 2 spells, so it should be 2d6.
Oh, I wasn't planning to heighten, but I probably should, shouldn't I?
Cantrips are automatically heightened up to the spell level that you can cast up to. Yeah, so once we hit level 3, and you can cast level 2 spells, it's 2d6. Once you hit level 5, you cast level 3 spells, you can cast 3d6 damage. So it should automatically calculate that as well as for the damage.
Oh, that's way better. Okay, cool. You said the DC was 10?
It's rope. It's not that hard.
Well, we'll see. Alright, then I got a -1 circumstance. Okie dokes.
That is 20.
Hey.
Almost a critical hit. You fire forward, so go and make the damage. So let's see if Broader gets dropped. Broader does. As the glass shoots forward, spinning through the air, sides to the rope, he's going to make an acrobatics check at a heavy disadvantage to see if he can avoid damage. He does not. You guys watch as Broader, who has already taken 10 points damage, takes an additional 7, bringing him to 11 points. Bringing him to 11.
Shit.
But he's on the ground now. He's prone, but he can move. He'll be able to move on his next turn.
Yeah, woof.
All right.
Cool. Well, that's my turn.
Bring us to Ongo. Ongo. I forgot to explain this distortion lens for everyone else. You guys watch as more like waves of energy emanate off of Clortho, and the air in front of Ongo and between him and the Hobgoblin begins to shift and distort into this weird circular glass thing. But anyway, Ongo, it is your turn. One enemy is out of sight. There's another one that you'd have to spend at least 2 actions to get to attack. Although the Hobgoblin, you need to at least move at least once to be able to get within reach. Or you could do
The one in
lunge.
front of me?
Yeah, that because it took a 5-foot step back outside, so you have to at least do a lunge attack.
Well, then we're gonna do a lunge attack.
Alright, gotcha. Okay.
But I can't combine one. Like, improvised pummel is not. Yeah, okay. Normal lunge.
Alright. Meter beats an armor class of 20.
Yeah.
Fucking, that's a critical hit. So go ahead and roll damage, please.
Thinking it could get out of range.
Are you punching?
Can we flavor this as he snaps back to reality, quote unquote reality, whatever that is for Ongo, and he realizes he's still holding the other goblin's head, and he just spikes it into that guy's face.
Understood. Just whoop, chuck. Does 10 damage. They managed to bring the shield up. We're gonna say while he blocks the head, it's the damage he takes is gonna be like is mental from getting a fellow goblin's head thrown at him. So he's gonna take 4 points of damage.
Emotional things.
Emotional damage. All right. Beautiful. Okay, you still have 2 actions.
Oh, yes. Well, lunge didn't get me closer, did it?
It did not.
But Dragon Strike can bring him back to me.
Yeah, that's the weird thing, because technically you would have to get closer to do Dragging Strike. Because you
What?
don't have a weapon that... That's the weird thing, because Dragging Strike is a separate action.
That's true. And
I
I don't know how to
know.
drag him with a spiked goblin head anyways, so I guess that makes some sense.
Yeah. I know, I'm sorry. It's kind of lame, but I see where they're talking about that.
Can he spend nope, he won't do that. Yep. He will just take one action to move up 5 feet. Am I gonna be in this weird glowing magic if I step up 5 feet?
I mean, you are, but it doesn't seem to do anything wrong to you.
Okay, then he's gonna step up 5 feet, realize he's got no weapon in his hands, and just say, I'm gonna take that, and he's gonna rip that shield off that goblin's hands.
Okay. All right. That is going to be. You're making an athletics check against. You're trying to meet or beat a 26, just because the shield is strapped into his arm. Fucking hell,
Yeah.
of course it is. God.
He got his arm with it.
You reach forward, grab it, yank it. I'm gonna say that not only do you pull the shield off, you do break the arm. Break the arm. You hear the goblin howl as they're gonna take. As they take, Jesus, 7 points of damage from the arm breaking, and their shield arm is now hanging limply down their side as they're trying to ward you off with the shield. But yeah, you're now holding the other shield, bringing us to the archer. And I'm gonna go ahead and you guys see Broader is still screaming, "The archer is out on the ground! It's going to!" And then, oh no, you guys watch as a crossbow slams into Broader's side, and Broader begins to die.
Fuck!
He's not dead, but he's beginning to die. And you guys hear the sound of footsteps as someone is trying to, not necessarily like leave, but is trying to stealthily change positions. Alright, bringing us to Jeremy. Jeremy, behind your cover, peeking over, you do see that the sage is on the ground, but he's now bleeding out and not moving as there's a crossbow bolt in the side of his torso. What would you like to do?
Sorry, what's going on?
Wayne,
Our
Kyle.
guy's bleeding out. Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know what I can do to help him.
You have a healing potion.
Oh my god, I do have a healing potion.
Yeah.
I was like, do I have anything to help him? I do. Wait, where the fuck?
It's under consumables.
I see poison vials. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna run over and use this healing potion on our guy who's very much dying.
Sounds
How many actions? That would be
good.
one to move over. one to take out the potion and one to give it to him, or is that not something I can do?
Let's go with this. If you want to be safe about it, you can spend all 3 actions to get over there and administer the potion. If you want to steal an action to do something else, you can basically take the potion, move about 25 feet, and then throw it at him. Because that will heal it. That will heal. And you have to meet or beat his armor class of 14.
Yeah, I'll try that. I'll do we'll do the throw.
All right, gotcha. You rush up to where, right behind Ongo and Clortho, wind up the potion. Go ahead and make an athletics check. Meet or beat 14. You have a hero point.
I hero pointing that. Yeah.
It's like, that's so sad. This, of course, is a natural one. 17. Just make it. You toss it. It clips the hobgoblin in the helmet, and you wince as it cracks a little bit. But it continues to fly before slamming on top of Rodert. So go ahead and roll the healing for that, please.
Oak, let me.
As he comes back with 17 HP. Oh my god! Oh Lord, it's just to save me! And that leaves you with an action if you still want to do something.
Yeah, so I'm going to attack the hobgoblin pack leader. Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, sounds good.
If I can. Am I close enough to attack
we
him?
can say you got next to Ongo and Jerem and Ongo
when I
and
threw that at him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, cool. Then I can only do hitting it. Let's roll this.
17, 25 is definitely gonna hit. He tries to move his arm to block you, but his arm is broken. The shield's gone. It's in Ongo's hands. So go and roll for damage, please. That is 5. You see, even despite this though, he does duck backwards, and you do cut him across the face. This is a very hardy-ass goblin, because you've dealt a decent amount of damage to him, but he's still up. And that's going to bring us to the Goblin Warrior here, who is going to go ahead and... What are we going to do? You guys watch as this guy is going to go ahead and take a couple shots at Clortho.
Bring it.
Is that what he wants to do? Let's be smart about this, Jared. Okay. Let's be smart. Yeah, he's gonna do that. Alright. Okay. None of those are gonna hit. The arrows fly forwards. One of them does get close, but it ricochets off of the metal plates that compose your body. And he's gonna spend his third action to take cover behind this building over here. You guys can still see him, but for all intents and purposes, he has standard cover with a +2 to armor class and reflex. That brings us back to the top there with Brodert, who is going to begin to inchworm towards you guys on the ground because he cannot pull his arms. And you notice that there's probably something wrong with his legs, because his legs are moving very weakly. So he gets about 15 feet, and that is his turn. Bring us to the Hobgoblin Pack Leader, who's going to look at you two, look behind him, look at Brodert, and he's going to run away. Ongo, you can make an attack of opportunity if you want to do so, as he is leaving your range and not trying to disengage.
Sorry, he's just fleeing, right?
He is fleeing in the direction of Brodert.
With malice? Does he seem like he's gonna keep running past him to run away, or does he seem like he's running towards a target?
He's running towards a target. Or a potential shield. Human body shield.
Well, then that's gonna be an attack. Can it be an action, or is it just an attack?
You can make it you can do a grapple, a trip. You can do another disarm if you want. You can do a regular attack.
Oh yeah. He's gonna say, "I got your shield, but now you're the shield," thinking that that's clever.
All right. 26. That is against the reflex, right? For a grapple. That is good enough. Yep. You managed to grab onto him, and he is now grabbed by you and cannot move any farther than that. So he's going to spend his second action to try and escape. What is your athletics DC, please?
Probably really big.
Yeah, but I would love a number. I would love a number though.
I'm poking around in this.
It's your athletics plus 10.
Oh, it's like 22.
22. All right, he fails. He almost gets free. He gets free for a moment, but then you like smack him and then grab onto his wrist again. So he's grabbed. He is then going to reach out and pull out a potion and prepare himself, and that is his turn. I don't know. He's only got one arm. The other arm doesn't work. Fuck. Yeah, he's gonna. No, he's not gonna do the healing potion. He's gonna. Fuck. He's gonna try. He's gonna try to break free again at a -5. Nope, not good enough. Your grip tightens on his broken wrist, and he lets out a low groan of pain from that. That's gonna bring us to Clortho. Clortho, the enemy has struck Broddert several times and is seeking to use him as a human shield. What would you like to do?
I would like to whip out one of my Warp Step cards from my cantrip deck.
Nice.
And I'd like to cast Warp Step as a double action.
Beautiful. All right. Sounds good. For all intents and purposes, you guys watch as like Clortho kind of like jiggles a little bit, and you watch the card pops out that he holds in his hands, and it crumbles and swirls around him in blue energy. So you now have a +5 status bonus to your speed. So that brings you to a movement speed of 20.
Yes, and it allows me to take 2. Warp Step allows me to
Stride twice. You can. Fuck.
stride twice. Yes. So I will then
Sounds good.
stride twice at a movement speed of 20, which I think should be enough to get me close to rudder. Hopefully.
That is true. Okay. The Hobgoblin is going to take an attack of opportunity against you because it is stride.
Isn't he grappled?
He is grappled, but that doesn't stop him from trying to attack.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Alright, he is going to take a swing at you. Wow, that's a 29. That's definitely going to hit, but it's not a
That
critical.
will hit. Yep.
Okay. He slashes you for 8 points of slashing damage, cutting into your back, and you guys watch as a little bit of slime like falls off of Clortho, shrivels up, and turns into a puddle. But Clortho...
Cool.
That is going to get you to, well, yeah, we'll say that gets you right next to Broddert.
Cool.
He's like, oh, my boy, my sweet, not boy, not a boy, not a girl, my slime.
And then can I cast Shield on him?
Guess right, because for the change of your class, then yes, you would be able to do. You're going to have to spend a focus point.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. Let me double check the rules there. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Shield, yes.
Yes, but after you
Yeah,
finish,
it
Sean,
can be
we're
deployed.
finishing your character.
Yes, we are.
Finishing
Your shield
your
can be deployed. Yes, your shield can be deployed on behalf of others. Choose an ally within 30 feet. Okay, yeah. So I don't have to amp it to do that. That's just a basic thing of my shield.
Fucking sick.
Cool.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
I will go ahead and give him a shield then.
All right, you lay your little pseudopods on top of him, and goo. It leaves you to form a slight glass gooey bubble around him, so he now has a +1 armor class. Bringing us to Ongo. Looks like Broddert is safe for the meantime. He's got Clortho now. The enemy in front of you is still grappled by you. You do need to spend an action to maintain the grapple. That doesn't mean you have to roll again, I believe, but you do have to spend an action to keep that going if you want to keep him grappled.
Do I see any other enemies?
You can spend an action to make a perception check, because you do see the goblin over here who's taking cover around the building. You do not see currently the hobgoblin archer. Cross the wind.
So could I hypothetically take enough actions in this turn to take this grappled dude and rush him and slam him as an improvised weapon into this goblin?
That is an excellent question. I'm gonna say you're gonna have to make one action to another athletics check to restrain him, and the distance that gets you there. And then we'll require another athletics check to see if you can clear the gap in time. But that will be all 3
Yep.
actions. How's that? Okay.
He's,
First,
he's gonna pick him up like a battering ram, just 2 hands on the back, 1 on the pants, and then we're gonna do it.
all right, 19 is actually not good enough. You try to like bring him into estrangement.
0 point.
But, oh, go ahead, please.
Wait, am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, you can. Absolutely.
Okay.
25. All right. He headbutts you, then you headbutt him back, and in that moment of daze, you take him and throw him over your shoulder just a little bit so you can use him, and you angle that shoulder and run forward. Make another athletics check to see if you can clear the gap towards this goblin. Jesus, yeah, that's good enough. You guys watch as he just rushes forward, almost like a footballer holding a football, but instead of as a goblin, and just smashes him into this small goblin war that's with cover. What fucking damage? I'll just roll damage. Is the goal to smash the enemies and like let the momentum carry them away from you, or do you want to still keep a hold upon the hobgoblin?
Oh yeah, like literally like a battering ram. So like he's until the hobgoblin snaps and breaks. That's his weapon now.
All right. You watch as you smash the hobgoblin into the small goblin, who flies upwards and goes about additional 20 feet in the air before he lands on his head and is dead. And the goblin in your hands takes 6 points damage as well, and is currently still struggling feebly against your grasp, but is still alive. So that is going to be that turn. Bring us to the archer. Who, out the corner of your eye, Ongo, you see the archer step free and take a shot at you with his crossbow. You are considered flat-footed to it, so your armor class is
Do I
minus
get
2.
some kind of bonus for holding his friend basically in front of me?
Yeah, we'll say it's less cover, but he also rolled shit. So it misses both you as the crossbow bolt goes just above your heads. You watch as they duck. They run farther away from the cover of the building, reloading, and they drop to one knee again. And they're going to go ahead and take another shot at a -5. That's... I don't think that's good enough.
22.
Oh, it's a 20. So it does ricochet off the armor of the hobgoblin you're using as cover, but does not pierce his armor or do him damage. That is the goblin's turn, bringing us to Jeremir. Jeremir, one of the enemies is being grappled and uses a battering one. The other one is running away, and you can kind of see them from between the buildings. I will say that from where you currently are, you can get to them within 3 actions because it is that far.
Oh,
Or
3
if you
actions to
wanna-
get that far?
Yeah, or you can move. Or you can do magic, where 1 action move, and you can do 2 actions for a spell.
Yeah. I will 1 action move, 2 action spell. Electric Arc.
Sounds good. Another reflex saving throw from our archer. That is a 12. That is a failure. So go and roll damage,
Damn.
please. All right, that's 8 points of electric damage as it spurts outwards, shocking them, making them flinch a little bit. Almost drop their crossbow, but they're still up. That is Jeremir's turn. Bring us back to the top there with Broadert, who can actually do stuff. He is going to look at you and look at all of you and say, "Listen here, the archer over there is an absolute coward," and he's going to make a recall knowledge check to help you guys. Perfect. All right. So the next person that does an attack roll against the archer does so with a +2. If you successfully hit, you do an additional 2d6 damage. And he is going to then cover his head as best he can and take cover. Bring us the hobgoblin pack leader, who is going to attempt to try and break free. He is restrained, so let me apply that right now, so I know my weaknesses. Okay. All right. He's athletics check versus a 22. Not good enough. He's gonna try one more time. Not good enough. He continues to try and squirm in your arms. But Ongo, you basically bash his head a little bit into the side of the building, and he is a little bit stunned and wary. That is his turn. Brings us to Clortho. Clortho, from where you are, you would have to move at least 1 move action, and you'd be able to get line of sight on the hobgoblin archer. Also, Sean, if you're trying to speak, you're muted. I have no idea if you're there either.
I'm not trying to speak right now. I'm trying to get some new headphones set up.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. Do you want me to move on to someone else then? Sure. We'll come back to you, but Ongo, it is
I
your
thought it
turn.
was still Onga's turn.
No, Ongo goes after you. Okay, but Ongo, Clortho is going to delay until after your turn, so one enemy alive in your hands, another one shooting at you from your northeast east. What would you like to do?
Same thing.
Batter grab. Alright, okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check, please. 20. For once, that is not good enough. You rush forward.
Hero.
How many hero points have you used so far?
One.
Just the one. Yeah, okay. That'll bring us to the second. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hero point the second. No.
Alright. You rush forward and swing with the hobgoblin, but the crossbowman is able to duck backwards out of reach. It is not hit. We will say that's 2 actions. You got a 3rd action.
Was it 2 actions because one was to move, one was to swing?
Yes.
Alright. Swing again.
Alright, this will be at a -5.
Damn
That
it.
is a 15. The hobgoblin archer dodges backwards and even uses the crossbow to bat away the head of the hobgoblin pack leader, who kind of growls in annoyance at this. Right, that's Ongo. Bring us to Clorth. Are we ready?
Can you hear me all right?
Very poorly.
Hold on.
What was that?
Can you hear me right now?
Yes, there's a bit of a delay, but yes, we can hear you.
Sorry about that. Alright. I'm gonna start blasting, dude. I'm gonna send a psi attack at the big ass hobgoblin.
Sounds good.
That's it's a reflex save from him.
Okay. Double check some things. Yeah, okay. Perfect. He rolled a natural 1, so that's a critical failure. Yeah, so go ahead and just roll the damage and we'll just double that. 10 points of psychic damage as your head balloons and pops, forcing out a larger than normal blast as Onko basically takes him and angles him into the blast, and he gets a full face full as the helmet screeches, the steel cracking in certain places, and the hobgoblin screams and finally just switches to common and says, "I surrender!"
Oh, that's convenient. How far away is this hobgoblin archer from me?
You would have to spend 1 action to move, and then you could have line of sight for everything else. And be within range.
Jared, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I want to throw a telekinetic projectile at him.
Is telekinetic projectile 2 actions?
It is, but psychic attack is 1 action.
Oh.
Or Cyburst is 1 action.
Okay, so you can take the angle from here. The hobgoblin does have cover though, which is going to boost their reflex and armor classes by 2, if that's acceptable.
What about this one south of me?
Oh, those ones have fled.
Oh,
Sorry,
cool. All right.
those ones have fled completely.
Yeah, I think I will try and flank something with the hobgoblin archer. Maybe just like a box that's on the ground nearby or something.
Okay, gotcha. That's a meter beat DC armor class 13, 23. 23.
Not gonna be great for me. So let's see here.
You know, I think that actually, I'm trying to think, because let me look at, no, it does not include this, so it's just straight roll. 27 definitely hits. Go and roll for damage, please. Alright, 15. You catch, Jesus, 15? Jesus, you catch a box that's nearby and fling it into the hobgoblin, which smashes into the side of their head with splinters going everywhere as they take that damage. Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, that's my turn.
That brings the archer.
Alright, I'm gonna take care of these headphones a little bit. Just as a heads up in case I'm not responding.
Sure. That is going to bring us this archer who is going to go ahead and... take a couple shots at Ongo, actually. Loading once, and fire. That is going to be a 15, which Ongo is able to position the Hobgoblin cover, and they don't take the damage, but ricochets off the armor. They're going to try one more time. That is a 23, which is certainly going to hit Ongo. Okay, there it is, 1d8. 1d8. Ongo, you're going to take 8 points of piercing damage, as that one does get past your impromptu cover. Impromptu cover and hits you for that damage.
Oh, wait, hold on. My AC is 22, and you said it got 23. Oh, it's a negative on his hit, not addition to my AC.
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, vulnerable to impact penalty, and then they're gonna. That's all 3 actions. Okay, that brings us to Jeremir. Jeremir, things are going well. The enemies are getting kind of worn down. It sounds like one of them wants to surrender. The one that Ongo's using as a battering ram, but the archer is still, the crossbow is still firing. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna run at the crossbow guy.
Okay, gotcha. One action to clear the distance, and the second action you can make it a slash. So go ahead.
Excellent.
Ooh, 22 is going to hit, just barely.
And then damage.
That's 6, alright, as they dodge backwards, but you still cut them across one of the forearms. They're looking bad, haggard. There's clearly flight in their eyes. You got one more action if you'd like to do something.
Yeah, I'm gonna take another stab at him.
Sounds good. This will be at a -5. Doesn't matter, natural 20, Jesus. Okay, slashing. That does not apply, so go and roll critical damage, please.
48.
That's 10 as you... actually, go with this. How do you want to do this? How does Jeremir kill this final Hobgoblin?
I'm just definitely going to decapitate him, I think.
Sounds good. Step forward.
Just full board, like, all my body weight into it, just absolutely eviscerate this goblin.
Gotcha, yeah. You, like, grab it awkwardly with both hands, because you got your shield, but you're able to slash and cut through the crossbow off the head, and the head drops down, followed by the rest of the body. That is not the full damage. That is this the full damage. And that is a dead Hobgoblin. The last one has his one good hand up. His longsword is dropped to the ground. So I'm going to say that combat has ended.
Ongo will put the goblin down, seat him against the wall, and then squat down next to him and say, "Hey, buddy, what's going on?"
He looks at you. It's wait. So just to make sure clear, you drop down. You're squatting in front of him, or are you sitting on top of him?
No, it is next to him.
He looks at you, and says, "Choke bringers are raiding. We choke bringers."
Yeah, but I mean, you can see this is not going well for you guys, and it probably hasn't ever gone well for you in the past. So, is there a deeper psychological reason, or like a physio? Like, is your home in a bad place? We're buds now. I beat you in fight, and you didn't die. That's how we become buds, right?
He looks very confused by the logic. But go ahead and make a diplomacy check. It's only a DC 13. Perfect. Was I double check some important information? Okay. So he says, we managed to get all the other tribes together for a raid because the Longshanks said he could get us in. He's got some mission with the graveyard. That's all I know, I swear.
Oh, so you're only doing this because you can?
He shrugs, and then you see fear returns back to his eyes. You got shinies? We like shinies.
Yeah, but you could like ask. I mean, you didn't have to try to kill everyone for it.
Would you give the shinies if we asked?
Yeah, here, take. He's gonna pat. Ango's gonna pat himself for any of the silver that he was just throwing a bunch of. He passes 1 silver over.
The hobgoblin stares at it for a second before extending a hand, his good hand, and taking it. Ah.
You want to help us?
Help along, Shanks?
Let's just have a second for the goblin to stare deep into Ongo's eyes and realize that there is very little to no light behind his eyeballs.
Jesus, I'll go ahead and roll for that. He looks at you and says, "Do I get to live?"
I mean, you're helping us out, you're a bud. I'm not fighting everyone I see. I don't think. No. I'm not, yeah. Fine. Just, do you have any, like, shiny colors to wear so I don't confuse you for other people?
You watch as he looks over at the nearby corpse of his hobgoblin compatriot, walks over, picks a longsword, stabs into it, like, pulls off his bloody scarf and wraps around him, looks at you. Ta-da!
And we'll call you Bloody Scarf, or you?
Zrod Bloodscarf.
Scarfy.
Scarfy it is. And Broderick says behind you, young Ongo, I will protest this, he says, as you see he tries to stand up and fails. He says, these ruffians broke into my house. Just in time, you guys do see that the front door is broken down. Dragged me out, cut me in my legs, hung me up, and were going to burn me slowly.
Listen, man, I go to church every week, and I think I believe in immorality in the moment. I mean, these guys might have been bad a long time ago, or 10 minutes ago, but, you know, he's turning a new leaf. Look at him. Look at him wear the scarf.
Yeah,
he's like a decent fella.
Yeah, decent Scarfy.
Jeremy jumps in. My aunt will want explanations of this attack.
And I can certainly explain, Scarfy says. Trust Scarfy.
Very well.
All right.
Jeremy's not happy, but what has to be done, you know.
All right then, lads. What is the next step then? I'll narrate what you guys hear. Clortho and Ongo, with both you guys with the highest pass perceptions, and also from your angle, looking a little northwards towards, because the only battle you guys were able to visibly see was the battle at Northgate, and that has begun to get cleaned up. You see that some of the townsfolk over there are relaxed. A couple of them are slumped to the ground, not in defeat or death, but more of just like exhaustion and resting down. There are some sounds of the goblin chants far more to the south, but it seems that things have calmed down for the moment.
Hey, Jared. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, if yours is meta, that should go first, because this is in game.
I was gonna say, did Scarfy say that someone paid them so that the person paying them could get to the graveyard, or did I mishear that? I was still like tinkering with my headphones.
He said 5 tribes are here. We're like a Longshanks got us into town, and has a secret mission at the graveyard.
Cool.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna
is
start.
the goblin term for any humanoid that's taller than them, which is most humanoids.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing my little snail pace crawling towards the graveyard.
Can someone help me with these ropes? Broderick says.
I am so sorry, brother. I forgot that you were bound by mortal flesh. I'll turn around and help get him untied.
Gotcha. All right. It's pretty good knots, but you're able to get that done, and you do see that he still struggles to get to his feet. And he looks at you, Clotho, inside the house. There's a walking stick. Please get that for me.
Yes, Broddard. I'll walk inside, grab the stick, bring it back out. 3 minutes later.
Yeah, it's large. It's like twice the size. 3
Or
times
actually,
the size.
I'm gonna. I feel like if I can do telekinetic projectile, that's a poor man's mage hand.
That is
grab it and fling it out towards me.
Sure, go ahead and make a charisma check to see if you can keep this from knocking him in the fucking head.
Well, knocking myself in the head.
Well, no, because
But
you're.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're trying
Well,
to
as I
get.
say, I'm trying to bring it to myself, and then I can deliver it to him. But
I mean, sure, go aheed. You know, I'm not, why am I doing this? Yeah, absolutely. You're able to get it to you. It clunks into your body. You're like, whoop, and you're able to bring it back, and Broader is able to scramble to his feet. We're looking at you all. All right, so where are we going then?
I think we need to go to the graveyard if there is a Longshank conducting a secret mission, and it would be good to check on those in the cathedral. What say you, Onga, of the Furious Chicken?
Ah, another title to add. I don't know, but you have an idea, and you have brain blasts. So that probably means you're smart. So I'll pick you up and go to the graveyard. And you're also smart, robot guy. So that makes sense to you?
Yes, sure.
To the graveyard! Extend
I'll
a
go.
tentacle pointing forward.
Picks up Clortho and just starts running once again, full speed.
Oh, okay. All right. You guys watch as Broadert is slowly tottering it after you guys, with Scarfy, who very much at. Okay. Let's get. I'm gonna roll something first.
We should probably
All right.
deal with
Okay.
the goblin prisoner first.
Alright, you guys are running. Okay, so Ongo, you got Cortho, Jeremy, you're running after these two. Alright, you guys get back to Sandpoint Cathedral, and then stop and look behind you guys, and you don't see Scarfy at all. Also, you don't see Broader either, but also Broader could not move at full speed. He was literally moving at like an old man's pace because of his injuries.
Alright, hold on. Jeremy never declared he ran after us. Probably he would have, being a sane person, unlike Ongo, would have waited for the old man to get to safety, right?
Yeah. I waited for the old man.
Okay. Gotcha. In that case, Jeremy, you watch as Scarfy falls after Clortho and Ongo, stops after like a block, and then just like runs away towards the south, dipping behind, we'll say, the town hall and out of sight, running at full pelt.
Or old man with a bad leg. That was quite some fast movement.
Oh, this is the
No, that was the
hobgoblin that ran
No,
away.
it's the Hobgoblin.
Oh,
Hobgoblin
okay.
Scarfy that you've been dubbed Scarfy,
Oh, okay.
runs away. Broad's like, God damn it. But thank you so much as he pats you on the shoulder.
Yeah, I don't know what I expected.
I don't know either. How did your expose go, young Jeremy? I heard it was an excellent thing, though.
You know, I was really happy with how the mech was managed to not crush everyone. So I'd say the experiment was a success.
The bar was so low that the goal was to make sure it didn't crush anybody.
Well, it is very experimental, but I mean, I did run some tests, but when I was trying to pick up rocks with it, I would sometimes break the rocks, so I was really, I just made sure I was more careful this time.
Yeah, it was a question of
exactly.
finesse. Okay, alright, I accept this answer. He says, I was gonna get a little concerned. He says, but that is good. Alright. Alright, then we're gonna switch to the other boys. Okay, you guys, so do you guys want to go through the Sandpoint Cathedral? The faster way is to skirt along the southern section, the exterior of the cathedral, and get into the graveyard. Because the graveyard is directly east of the cathedral. Do you have a preference, gentlemen?
I think my preference would be to scrape around the bottom, but obviously I'm not the one carrying us right now.
Yeah, Ongo is just going for speed. He knows the town well enough to know that that's fast, so he would just skip through.
Okay, so that's south?
Fast route.
Fast route, so be skirting around the cathedral as well. Okay, gotcha. You guys make your way there, going around until you enter the graveyard. Alright, I am going to roll we'll call it a fate roll. You guys want high. Okay.
Jared, I don't suppose you'll let me burn a hero point on that, will you?
This does not apply to this because you guys are not making the check. Right. Yes. So
Fair
the
enough.
graveyard is a very well maintained set of like two-ish kind of manicured hills of grass and stones. The majority of what you got is like traditional tombstones. Here and there are like some smaller like mausoleums or some vaults there, but at least at a glance, you guys don't see anything out of the ordinary here.
Can I do a little detect magic arena?
Absolutely. Yes.
And then at the same time, Ongo will like hold his breath and like bulge his eyes out, and then attempt to become one with nature, like he does when he's actually out hunting, to see if he can find anything.
Are you looking for like tracks, or are you just vibing?
He's a psychopath, so he's looking for smells, shifts in wind, and sounds, and anything that moves that his eyes can see.
That is a much better answer. Okay. Okay. So 30-foot animation. Ongo is doing survival. Yeah, survival. Make a survival check, please. 20. You do notice that there are a set of fresh footprints. Small. Some of them are like have like boots. Other ones are just free. You see like the imprint of claws. Definitely goblins. Would you like to follow the trail?
Oh, immediate following.
All right, you guys begin to skirt deeper into the boneyard until you do see that all of them, as you take your vision and scan it far and wide and sight outwards, does lead all these skirting goblins like almost like skirt back to this location, and you find yourself in front of a larger stone vault. It's about 12 feet tall, tall about 15 feet long. And you do see that the stone door is partially ajar. These things are not well locked because that's never really been an issue before. But the doors are heavy enough that people would be able to hear it move, but it is currently open. With detect magic, yes. Also, we've been doing detect magic wrong. But anyway, Clortho, you watch as the surroundings around you kind of gray out as you focus more upon the immaterial. And you do sense the presence of magic. I don't think it tells you where, per se. Yes, but there's definitely magic because you've been scanning the entire time. You've gotten faint signals from Ongo, which are probably potions, but only now you're getting a much stronger sense of magic coming from right now when you got it within sight of the vault.
Yeah. It is a heightened spell, but it's heightened third. Does third apply to my level or my highest spell level?
Highest spell level. So it would be if you
Okay, yeah,
level
so it's
5,
not
then it would go. Yeah.
Cool. Alright, cool. There's magic. Lovely. Well, are these footprints coming in or leading out of the tomb?
They went in and then they left in mass. And headed southeast. Ongo, looking that way, it looks like they probably headed for Tanner's Bridge, because there's not really a fence around the graveyard. There's a very small 10-foot cliff that anyone can easily get down and then make their way to Tanner's Bridge. But looking from there, you don't see anybody across Tanner's Bridge making their way into the forest.
Ongo's just going to, with his foot, kick up a giant arrow pointing in the direction of the bridge for Jeremy whenever he catches up, and he's just going to start jogging in that direction, jumping down the 10-foot ledge.
Okay.
Well, I'm going along for the ride.
Sounds good. Okay. You guys make your way down there. Your athletics are strong enough that you'll be able to slide down the cliffside, because it's not like a steep incline. It's more of like it's a bit gradual at some points, so you slide down there. Bring us back to Jeremy. Jeremy, you find yourself inside just as you make it to the Sandpoint square. You see a bedraggled group of a mixture of town watch, probably recently rustled up militiamen, and at the head of them you see is the sheriff. Are beginning to make their way back towards the cathedral, helping along the injured and wounded. I think that Sheriff Baylor knows you in passing, Jeremy. I don't think he has spent much time talking to you, but he just recognized you and raised his hand. Oh, Brodert! And the young Jeremy, are you both okay?
Thankfully, I'm doing very well, but Broderick here did get injured pretty badly. We did manage to get to him in time, but I do think he could need a farther checkup from our priest.
Understood, he says. Understood. He rushes forward because he wasn't actually carrying anyone, and he helps you up towards the doors to the cathedral. And you're begging, "Open the fuck up, Father Xantus! Open up!" And the doors open. You see, the face of one of the town watchmen, Leland, who says, "Oh, thank God, more survivors." And they open the doors, and you guys begin to flood inside. You do see that a bit of a field hospital has been set up as some people have been being treated. Thankfully, you only see three, at least at this time, three bodies that are covered in sheets, indicating that those people are deceased. The rest are bruises, cuts, some burns, a couple people with some gash in their head, but nothing too serious that time won't heal. So one of the acolytes looks over Brodert and immediately calls over Father Xantus, and the two of them begin to minister aid. The acolyte is using more mundane means, while Father Xantus is trying to use more magic at this point to help. What do you do at this point, Jeremy?
I assume my aunt is somewhere close-ish, or
yes, you do
I
see her.
turn and look at her, and I go, "Hey, the two idiot, I mean companions, kind of ran off. I'm gonna go continue to help them look for more survivors or root out any more goblins in town."
Yes, I was going to talk to you about that because I saw them they're making their way towards the entrance, and then they skirted south around the exterior of the cathedral. I don't know where they went.
Yeah, they are very excitable from what I've noticed.
Indeed, yes. All right, good. Okay, you be safe now.
I will do my utmost, so then I'll run after her.
All right, sounds good. You make your way out. Make a survival check.
Okay.
All right, 14. So it doesn't take you too long to see the tracks. Follow them towards the vault, and you see it was a giant arrow pointing towards the southeast, towards Tanner's Bridge, right, Ongo?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. You see a giant arrow dug into the ground, pointing towards the southeast, towards Tanner's Bridge.
I'm gonna follow it.
Okay,
but
yeah, just want to make sure because
Yeah.
you do see that the
Okay,
vault is open. Actually, fuck, what you know? Let's make an intelligence check.
Sure. What? No.
I think you just roll. You just
That's
roll a
why.
d20 and then just add the intelligence.
Okay. D20. My intelligence modifier is 3, so 19.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So, looking at this stone vault, you do realize that this is the tomb of the former priest of Sandpoint that burned down years ago. This is the tomb of Ezekiel Tobin. And looking around, this seems to be the only tomb that has been desecrated. Or do you still want to keep running though?
Yeah, I'll keep running.
All right. Okay.
I'll note it, but I won't say anything.
Sounds
Not a
good.
deal.
All right, and you guys begin to book it. And I know that we usually go to 9:30, but I do want to keep it to a certain point where Jimmy can actually enter the story and make sense. So how do we feel about ending here a little early?
That works for me, and then I can put in a little bit of time to actually get all my spells.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sorry.
Perfect. All right. Also, this is my fault, but since Jeremy's actually intelligent, Jeremy actually gets additional languages. So you have Common and Dwarven.
That was okay. I was gonna say, Jared, sometime this week, could we go over like what I'm trained in? Because I don't know if I should keep everything the same. I just want to double check everything I'm trained in proficiency wise and yada yada yada. But
Sure. Yeah, I think it should be good. Yeah, because we didn't. I think we didn't make too many changes beyond.
We didn't make
background.
too many changes beyond that.
Yeah. So
right.
I think we're fine beyond that. But languages, I'll just send you a list, and you can choose an additional 2 beyond what you currently have. Let me think. Boop, boop. All right. That should be the language.
Yeah, I guess the main thing is more like